If you were to tell your past self, or think about a young woman right now trying to get into a trade or trying to get into a business or get into a male-dominated industry, what would you tell them?
No matter what it is that you end up doing, just get started and start hustling, and your name will speak for itself. The opportunities with people just seeing you out there hustling and grinding and doing it for the right reasons, that's what's going to get you ahead.
Sometimes the best way to lead isn't following someone else's path, but by creating your own. Brooke Baker Spink didn't grow up dreaming of becoming a CEO in construction, but after returning to the family business, she stepped into a male-dominated industry with no playbook. Just grit, the ability to be relatable, and a willingness to learn from the ground up. She parked her ego at the door, listened more than she spoke, and built trust by doing what she said she'd do. Now, as CEO of Baker Construction, she's navigating leadership, motherhood, and the challenge of building both a company and culture where empathy isn't a weakness, it's a superpower. If you've ever felt the pressure to prove yourself to others, Brooke's story will remind you how to tune out the naysayers and build your own legacy on this episode of Navigating Now. Brooke, thank you so much for being here. Seriously, you are a leader of one of the most respected construction companies in Spokane, and it wasn't an easy path to get there, but you are just this amazing person, and my wife and my daughter refer to you as a baddie, okay?
I love them so much.
They're like, she is a baddie, and when Hayden met you, she was like, she reminds me of Mom. She's just this baddie.
Your family is beautiful, and they are each going to get $5 for that compliment, because that's like the nicest compliment I've ever heard, so.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, Hayden, your college fund just went up $5.
Yes.
I love it. Maybe we could throw Dax in on that one too.
Oh, absolutely. He's in.
I love it. Well, thank you for being here today.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Thanks for having me.
Well, your story's amazing because you are someone who has overcome a lot of challenges, and now you're the CEO and you've delivered no's. And so I'd love to lean into some of those things.
Yeah.
But let's rewind and let's kind of start with your path to becoming the CEO of Baker Construction.
Sure.
Can you kind of tell a quick little story about how you got there?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So again, thanks for having me, Blue.
Welcome.
Love connecting with you in the community, and today will be fun. So I'm humbled to be with you today. So it's gonna be a good time.
Well, and we've met through the Valley Chamber.
Yep.
And you're also on the board for the Spokane International Airport and with the Valley Chamber and a couple others, I think. You are the baddie. I'm going to rewind really quick because you were in Spokane Journal has named you as like the 25 most influential people in Spokane. Maybe it was 20. You're just a baddie, girl, and people look up to you. And everyone in our community is like, that lady is on fire. And so you're a powerhouse in what you do, but it wasn't an easy trip to get there.
Thank you so much. So I've been really lucky. I've always had good people in my corner. But yeah, it's been an interesting kind of journey and trajectory to get to kind of where I'm at today. And it's always really humbling when somebody says to me, how did you get to where you're at today? Because I'm like, where is that? Like, I still don't feel like I've made it.
Sure.
So it's always really, really sweet when I hear that. But yeah, my journey, I Valley girl through and through. So raised
Spokane
in
Valley.
Spokane. Yep. Go Valley. And yeah, I have to do my little, go Bears. So I went to CV High School and just had a great experience.
You're a bear. I did not know that.
Yep.
Okay. All right. That tells a lot.
It explains a lot, doesn't it?
It does.
Yes. Yep. And so I went to CV, and then I ended up actually going down to Pullman. I went to school at WSU and studied business. So I did marketing and international business. I did an internship with Boeing when I was there. It was a virtual marketing internship with the head of marketing with Boeing.
But you were in Pullman doing
that. Who was a WSU alum, just amazing man. And I always kind of thought that I was going to go into aerospace or aviation and something like that. And I quite honestly, after kind of looking at that opportunity, I didn't have the courage to move, which is so silly because just moving to the west side of the state versus coming back to the east side of the state. So when I graduated, I came back to Spokane, and I waited patiently for my 6-figure job offer in 2008 when I graduated, and it just didn't happen. It was wild. I just waited. But yeah, so I graduated college at a time where obviously from an inventory perspective, if you will, jobs were slightly slimmer. So I just kind of waited a little bit.
So this is 2008. This is the kind of the recession.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And I want to pause you for a second because I, like you, but I went to UW, so we can still be friends.
Right.
That's all right. We can rival battle.
Yes.
Maybe we should put this giant Stanley Cup that you brought in here in between us and be like, we can like cover each other.
Absolutely.
That's fine. Yes. But when I spoke 3 languages. I had 3 degrees. I did great in school. And I've mentioned this before. It's like, I thought the doors of opportunity were going to open up and it was going to be so easy for me to land these jobs. And it wasn't. And I, like you, waited. And it was scary, but I was in Seattle at that time, so okay.
Yeah, in the company cars, and
I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that.
Let's go.
Like,
I have so much experience.
Why do you think that? Why do you think that you expected that? Is there something that?
No, I was just an idiot, honestly.
Okay.
So, you get through and you're hustling throughout college, and you're like ready to make money, ready to dive in. That was me, at least.
Well, I think movies kind of help too.
I was ready to start. Oh yeah,
like,
well, and I'm like a pop culture junkie, so any movie, I raised myself on movies basically, right? But a good friend of my dad's actually came to stay with us a couple months after I graduated. So I'm living in my dad and my stepmom's basement at this time. It's a couple months after graduation, and he's like, "Hey, I really want you to think about talking to my girlfriend who's opening up a State Farm agency. I think you'd be great in insurance." And I'm like, that sounds terrible. Boring, sterile, no thanks.
Yeah.
And he's like, just have coffee with her. And, I think you guys would hit off. So long story short, had coffee with her. Her name's Jennifer Chandler. She was a big mentor for me. She hired me. We helped launch her scratch agency on the corner of 29th and Regal on the South Hill.
Yeah.
In Spokane. And we opened with 0 policyholders. And we had no money. And so my first kind of introduction into sales in that capacity was cold calling, which I learned how to cold call out of a phone book. This is a true story.
Yeah.
Because we had no money to buy leads. So I had to quickly figure out how to connect with people on the other line and or on the other end and find what makes them tick. So I kind of like naturally uncovered this little
process
niche that I think I became good at, which is talking to people and listening to their needs and finding different opportunities to help them. So that's kind of where I got the sales bug. And then I was promoted to the corporate office a couple of years after that. So I worked for the regional corporate office and focused on acquisition and retention studies. So
all with State Farm?
Yep, all with State Farm still. So I worked from home the majority of my time in that role and had about 30 offices in my territory and a couple hundred team members. So I'd go from State Farm to State Farm and help their team with anything they need. So provide kind of like that corporate oversight and encouragement. And I loved my agents and loved my team members, but at the end of that, my heart just was telling me it was time to do something different.
But you were getting good at it. Like you were obviously moving the ranks, you were getting paid more, and your skill set was going.
I was loving it. I was making great money. I had the company car. And yes.
But not the jet.
I know. I believe it was a Nissan
Did it come with a giant Stanley?
Stanley was not cool then. It was a Nissan Altima, and it was beautiful.
Oh my God. When I first saw these Stanley cups, my wife...
let's do the plug.
Yes, we are doing the plug for Stanley because my cousins in Vegas were like, oh, do you have a Stanley Cup? I'm like a hockey thing? I'm like, what are you talking about? And then my wife jumped on board and I'm like, oh my goodness, that's a plug for Stanley.
It is. It doubles as a weapon.
Okay. Or
and
a light.
This is how I work out. This is literally my only arm workout.
Okay.
So State Farm wanted me to go down to the Palouse and start opening some agencies down there because I had great connections, obviously, with the college scene down there, having graduated from there, and I loved the Palouse.
This is all
Pullman
in Washington State, so
yeah. Yep, and Moscow, Idaho, for just kind of that, how close Pullman and Moscow are.
You can throw
obviously.
a baseball.
Yeah, and I loved State Farm. I loved my time with that team. And again, my early years with Jennifer, who saw something in me, I'm really grateful for that. But
can I plug really quick? Can I talk about when you were cold calling, how scary was that?
Oh, sure. Not scary at all.
Okay,
because
so
I didn't know anything.
You had this phone. I like that.
Yeah, I didn't know anything.
You were naive enough.
I didn't care. I just didn't care. And no was normal, right? So then I just would play my game, figure out what my story was and what my approach was, and just figure out ways to win people over. And then it's a numbers game, right? So
I love that. So you were told no way more than yes.
Of course.
Obviously.
Right? Yeah.
But then you started working on your process and your pitch, let's call it, and connecting with people, and it ended up working for you.
Exactly.
I love that. Okay.
And I love people. So I think that was kind of again, that little nugget that was uncovered from me in that gig was I like people. I like interacting with people and getting to know, again, like what makes them tick and what are they dealing with. And it was wild, the things that people were opening up to me about, where I'm like, hey guys, I'm just trying to do your car insurance and your renter's insurance. But maybe it's a little woman that just like has no interaction with anybody and just having like a friendly voice on the other line. You end up becoming friends. And then again, they obviously become clients and start doing more. And it's a lot of obviously what I do at Baker now, which I'll get into in a minute, but just solving needs and helping people. So I had a sit down with my dad at that time. And I just said, is there room for me at Baker?
Because you knew you were not happy.
Yeah, I just was like, man, maybe like, is God leading me to Baker? And is this my time to join forces with my dad and his amazing partners? Or, what does this look like? And we had a really great, profound, heavy conversation where he said, I think you'd be great at it. I just want you to have your eyes wide open because you're walking in as a female in a business background. You didn't study construction management. You are young and, oh yeah, you'll be the boss's daughter. So just be ready and put on, you got to be Teflon.
Yeah,
and if you're going to do it, exactly, good one. Yeah. Nice pun. Hard hat on, safety first. Just be ready. But I do think you'll be great. And so I ended up interviewing with his partners and I just, laid it out there. I said, it might work, might not work, but I think what I could do is get us in front of more people. And so I just started from the bottom and that was about 13 years ago, and then just worked my way up from sales and business development, and most recently I was chief development officer to now being CEO. So CEO was my my big jump in January. We did a big corporate reshuffle, big org chart reshuffle. So my dad was our chairman our CEO for over 40 years, and he stepped up to the chairman role, and now I'm CEO. And our two business partners, who are the most amazing humans, I'll talk to you about both of them here shortly, Brian and Lucas. Those are our other partners. Brian Valiant is our president. Lucas Holmquist, our executive vice president. So Dad is still very involved in the company, and he's we joke, we're making him come in later and leave earlier and travel more. But he had some fantastic strategic visioning and foresight to know to bring Lucas and Brian and I into the executive level 10 plus years ago. He's like, these will be the future leaders as we still kind of figure out who's going to play what role and responsibility, bringing us into a lot of the heavy, gnarly day-to-day decisions that come with running a business and taking care of families and finding a way to push forward. So I'm really grateful for the org chart reshuffle, how successful the transition has been. And I credit my dad a lot to that because he doesn't have an ego. So you see with a lot of construction companies a very unhealthy change in leadership because the head honcho.
Sure.
And again, the greatest human desire is to feel relevant.
Sure.
Right? So you see these companies that struggle with people seeing future leaders, allowing them to have fresh legs and run.
Because passing that baton can not only just the succession plan and having something to be able to pass along, but also maybe that younger person or that group or whoever you're bringing on can 10 times your company because they have a different vision or a different perspective.
Yeah. He's been amazing. So great. So great to us of letting us come up with new ideas, launch new things, and then letting us drive to the edge of the cliff and not go off the cliff where he's like, all right, I'm going to let you get all the way over there. I'm not going to let you make a lethal error, but some of this stuff you guys just got to figure out on your own. So feel grateful for that.
I love that you said that because that is the epitome of a mentor, right? Yeah. A mentor puts up those guardrails, and it's like you can come. They're helping you avoid the pitfalls and the mistakes, but they're letting you make those errors. But at least the guardrails are up and bowling. Are you a bowler?
Yeah, terrible.
You still use the guardrails?
Oh, if I can. I will always in the future when we finally take London bowling, I'll be like, she needs the bumpers, but it'll be me. So I'm really just there for the snacks. I'm like, if you think about how nasty that is too, like you're eating fries and then you put your fingers back into the bowling balls.
Where do you bowl in Spokane now?
I haven't bowled in years. I don't know. Here's our next plug.
Up on the South Hill, they had like the lilac lanes or something like that.
And then it became a casino, but I think, I don't know. We used to, in the Valley, it was always players and spectators, but I haven't been in years. But
we need to remedy that.
We do. It's been a healthy journey to Baker, and A long, crazy journey, but I'm very grateful. So
you're transitioning in from State Farm. You have this conversation with your dad, and you jump into the weeds, basically. But what you did is you took your skill set that you learned at State Farm, like how to connect with people, and you kind of let that take off, and you use that as your catapult. Or Anna Mazzeo, she was on the other day talking about using these little challenges and these struggles in life as like a trampoline.
Yeah.
And so you obviously
a launching point.
Yeah, it is a launching point for you. So you successfully did that and you started creating these relationships. But how did you deal? So you jump in. How did you win over all of your peers, all of the workers and clients from Baker as a young woman jumping into this, into a male-dominated thing, and as your dad's daughter?
Yeah, good question. I did it with, I had to park my ego also at the door because I came from this corporate gig, being the subject matter expert, being the person super relied on, to being the new guy, new gal. And so first thing I had to do was park my ego at the door.
In your Nissan Altima?
In my Nissan Altima. I had to give the Altima back.
Darn it.
Yes. So the corporate car went back.
Okay.
And basically... be ready to listen. Hungry, humble, smart. It's always big for me. Hungry, humble, smart. And then be exquisite and impeccable with my word. Do what I say I'm going to do and drink from a fire hose and not be afraid to say, I don't know the answer to that. So what I started doing and trying to get that kind of credibility was just put myself out there and start networking, because I had a terrific group of network connections from the finance and the industries.
You'd already been within the Spokane community as a leader.
Okay. Kind of. I mean, kind of. I wasn't super connected when I came to Baker. So I really was starting from scratch of how to like kind of invent myself in the real estate world and in the construction world. So whenever anybody asks me this question of how did I get started, honestly, I didn't really think a lot about it. I just started to do a lot of volunteer work. So for me, back in the day, I was really, really involved with Blessings Under the Bridge. So, and I'm still good friends with Jessica Kovac, and I'm not involved anymore. She's just grown that to such an incredible space. But I was religiously feeding the homeless under I-90 on the corner of 4th and McClellan for years, every Wednesday night. And it's incredible, just the people that I met, the volunteers, and obviously my friends under the bridge. But it's incredible the friendships that I made in an organic way that eventually led to business deals, just like you, right? It's all about relationships. So I got out there. I continued my work with Blessings Under the Bridge for a couple years at Baker. That eventually led me to the United Way with the Emerging Leaders Society. It's not around anymore, which is a bummer, but that's where I met Manny. That's where I met Jonathan Malahan. That's where I met a lot of my good friends today that I'm blessed to say are personal friends and professional friends. Like people that I've done hundreds, I can literally quantify about hundreds of millions of dollars of work because they saw me, just freezing my you-know-what off, doing something out of the goodness of my heart. They saw that side of me.
Not just like what the expectations was. There you go.
Yeah, that years later when I'm in a different role and there's an opportunity to be your partner, I've seen that girl in the trenches. I want to be giving that girl work, and that's a friend, right? And that's what it's all about. So this is a really long-winded answer to say how I just started to kind of prove myself
to clients.
Yeah. Transitioning into that is to show up and say, hey, I'm new. I don't know a lot, but I know where to get us the answers. And so I'm extremely organized. I'm going to be the person that hustles for you and figures it out. So it was really having that discipline to do the follow-ups. And when you commit to something, just do it. And sadly, what's really novel in the construction world right now and the real estate world is to just do what you say you're going to do. And I guess that's life in general. I
love that.
And it's really sad that sets us apart, is just to like that commitment do what you say you're going to do.
Absolutely. And I talk on this all the time about that, going that 3 to 5% more. Yeah. If you just do a little more than what the average person does, it stands out.
Isn't that sad?
So you send a thank you card, you mention something to somebody, it really does make you memorable.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take that much effort,
Right.
especially if nobody else is doing it.
I think you're right. And I mean, I know you're right. So I was coupling that with also, it took me a couple years to do it, but to just, again, let my guard down and lead from my superpower. My superpower is not being super smart. It's not being the best in the room. If I'm the best in the room, then I've also done a very, very bad job of helping build this company. I need to not be the best in the room. I need the best in the room surrounding me, right? But my superpower is also just disarming a room and walking in and leading with humor, perhaps, or making fun of myself, whatever.
You're not
just
funny.
Finding, I know, I'm not funny.
We need
now.
to work on that.
I know. Please help me.
Okay.
But finding my voice, because for many years, I was replicating everything that my dad was doing and how my dad would have those conversations with clients and potential clients. Because I didn't know what I was doing. And I, monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah.
And I didn't have that confidence. So once I finally started getting that confidence and realizing, oh, I'm having some good traction just being myself, doing what I say I'm going to do, and thinking about things a little bit differently, people were responding to it well. And I'm fortunate that my team also took me under their wing, and they started to see me getting some traction and doing it a different way than had ever been done. Yeah. And they were a big reason for my growth, taking me under their wing and be like, hey, you're going to come with me to the job site today, and we're pouring a deck, and I'm going to explain to you what's going on. A PT deck, post-tension deck, not a house deck, but I must clarify in the construction world, but we're not building houses
playing
right
cards
now.
here,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
House
Your
of cards.
Yeah, exactly. So
Tarot cards.
yeah,
It's even
let's
better.
Go.
Yes.
So I figured it out, but I had a lot of help along the way. So I always want to be very honest and transparent that where I am today, again, great mentors and great partners that had faith in me.
Yeah.
And just took the time to lift me up and coach me. I also was never, ever, ever handled with kitty gloves, which many times I wish I would have, because there's really hard days, and we can talk more about that.
Yeah.
But the best thing that they ever did was never, ever, just because I am a woman or Barry's daughter, ever treat me differently. It was the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Hard. It was hard.
And you can reflect back and see that now. But
I am so grateful for it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, you had mentioned that you had learned what you would learn from your dad and watching him negotiate or talk to clients, and you put your own spin. So you leverage your own gift, right? But I think a lot of people also think that if they just read a textbook and they use a textbook to go through, that is not life.
No.
And especially in the construction world.
And it's not real.
No, and it's not going to. Do you remember the movie? Was it not Old School? Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield.
Yes.
Okay.
But I wish you were going to say Old School as well. But I do love Rodney Dangerfield, and I love that. You're my boy, Blue. But yes, no, Rodney Dangerfield.
So when he's in the class and he's
Yep.
talking about, it's a business class, and the guy's like, well, we're building widgets. And he's like, well, what are you going to do about the offshoremen? What are you going to do about the cartels? And he goes, well, we're just building widgets. He goes, no, that's not real life. Right. And so until you're in the weeds, you're not really realizing what it is. And when you weren't given a textbook, you didn't follow in your dad's footsteps. You leveraged your own gifts.
Yeah.
And you saw your own strengths.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
How did you deal with? Obviously, you told if somebody, your coworkers or the workers were like, come to the job site.
Yep.
You actually did it.
Yep.
You put yourself out there, and you weren't afraid to do it. You put yourself back in the weeds again, and it's like you learn. How many things do you have a tool belt?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah. It's very clean.
Okay.
Clearly. I'm such a poser.
Oh my God, I love it. No,
My
there was a video. You did a commercial, and I saw a commercial of you, and you're all in your little hard hat.
That's
and you're
my
like,
high vis. That's kind of dirty. That's had a little time in the field. But
oh my God,
but
I loved it. I was like,
my
there's
tool
Brooke
bags
right there.
are very clean. I think I had so the team in the field has been monumental in my confidence and in my growth. And a lot of those guys were like family to me that I grew up around, because I grew up on job sites too. So they kind of watched me come up through the ranks.
I wondered about that, because I mean, I would go to my dad's office. You know, as he was a lawyer here in Spokane, and it was like I would sit there. I'd go to the court, and I'd meet all the police officers, and it was just like you see that as a kid growing up, and so you have these different aspirations or dreams, and so obviously you're there. You're kind of getting your hands dirty,
right? I watched my dad. Something I really credit my dad for is now being in his seat. You would never know how stressed he was when he got home. You would never know how close they were to not making payroll.
Yeah.
Or how badly they needed the next job. to float the company. I mean, we've been around for 74 years, and he has seen a lot. So it's very good for me to now be in this seat. And again, I've had a long time in a leadership role with the company, but people just see the nice things that he has or that, that he's built and things like that. They don't see the journey and the true way you have to operate with a steel gut in this business, life in general too, right? But I just really credit him for always putting our family first and never missing a soccer game of mine and always being present. And so I really lean on a lot of those things that he did for me as I think about, life with London and Steve and making sure that I'm present there too. It's not pretty. It's hard. And I'm not winning at that right now. And so,
but you want to.
Yes. Yeah. And it's good because again, like just talking about it is good. And just being real with yourself of like, this is a season of hustle.
There's light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes. Yeah. So.
Well, and I think you can see through experience, not only as you've come up the years of doing that, but you also know that your dad did make it through it.
Yep.
Right.
Yes.
And you have a support system, and you have all of these community members that do continue to give you business. And it's like, that there are tough times that ebb flow.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And just, we always joke on our side is like every day, all you have to do is wake up and chop wood every single day. Have the discipline to get yourself up, out, hit the streets, have a smile, be there for your team. Just chop wood every single day because people see it, they connect to it, and that's who they want to work with is somebody that's in the trenches, again, boots on the ground, and doing things not in the spirit of expecting anything back because it comes back naturally, but you're not doing it and being on these boards and doing these events at night away from your kids and your family for the wrong reasons. You're doing it because it's the right thing to do. I think that's one thing that we all do a good job of at our company is multiple boards that we serve on. Business will come out of it naturally, but that's never the spirit with which we lead from. So very, very much like that servant leadership mentality. And our whole team is like that. Guys in the field, when we have something that pops up, they're like, hey, can we lend a hand with trades night associations, getting more youth into the trades or helping us build something for a charity? I mean, it's just very much like an all hands on deck approach. One team, one score. We're big on culture. I'm really lucky. We just got announced again that we, another year in a row, are Inland Northwest Best Places to Work. So,
that's awesome, Brooke. Great.
So grateful for our team. And we just
when you give back to the community, you're doing Shop with a Cop, right? That's coming up this week. Well, if you're listening to this, I don't know when this is going to drop, but at the same time, it's like you give back to the community in so many different ways.
We're so excited. Don Savage, our CFO, you're going to love him. You're going to be on the board with him for the Spokane Police Foundation. So, he's rolling off of the Hub board shortly. He'll be joining you guys with Spokane Police Foundation. But if you looked at how many boards we're on as a team, it's a lot.
Well, how do you then, let me put you on the spot. How do you re-energize yourself and step away from work as a mom and as a wife? And I know that it's an ebb flow, but is there something that you tell yourself all the time? You're like, okay, I do need a 1-day camping trip. What do you do to I guess, give a little bit of relief to yourself and to your family? How do you, you're in a big spot as the CEO. How do you re-energize yourself and also not burn the candle at both ends? Yeah,
good question. I'm not doing a good job of that right now.
Do you need more water?
I do. I need more water. I actually would like an IV so I don't even have to drink it or lift my hand.
Sure.
Make it easy on me.
Yeah.
Great question. So to re-energize, I actually love to cook. So love to find a new recipe, and I love to cook. And I like a recipe because I don't want to make a decision. I want to have something so laid out for me that I can just follow the instructions and do that. And that's one way, love language of sorts, to show Steve, get home and cook for him, or he'll cook for me. That's just a really quick 20-minute unplug for a second, breathe. We love to cook. We have a new garden. I'm a terrible gardener, but we have one. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm gonna
Is it full of weeds or is it full of tomatoes right now?
It's actually thriving.
Okay.
And I have to credit Steve for that. He's got the green thumb in the family, but London does too. She loves to garden. So
that's
gardening
awesome.
and being outside helps me recharge for a minute. But I think the best way I'm finding balance is accepting the fact that my work-life balance right now, it's really just one. My life and my current role is bringing London with me to board meetings. This morning, London's on a Valley Chamber board meeting with me. She's on her way to get dropped off for the day. I've brought her to so many meetings, and I've brought her to the office, and that my team and my clients even have been like, bring London if you need to. Steve is a spine rep,
not
as you
because you need a babysitter,
right?
But it's also to share like all of this knowledge and experience. Like, and I bring Hayden will watch me do a casting for a movie or a commercial, and she's learning, right? And she will listen to my speeches all the time because I have to practice the speeches before I go on stage, and she hears them over and over.
You can
and
practice with her. Even.
I can't. Well, 100%. And there's stories that I bring up with her.
Yeah.
And I just think it's so important for your kids to see not only like, oh, my dad does this or my mom does this, but it's like, what are those? And you did that with your dad.
Yep, I did. And she'll probably be the only 5-year-old that can do, a balance sheet by the time she leaves kindergarten. But a lot of it is necessity, and a lot of it is, truthfully, I do want her to see that side and want her to be proud of me and what we're doing and to have that kind of different perspective. But a lot of it is necessity too, just from a balance of, I actually don't have a nanny. And so I'm trying my very best to have that balance. But Steve's a spine rep. So his surgery is completely dictated by spine surgery schedule. So he's got way less flexibility than I do. But the balance is off right now. And we're working through it. And again, finding those opportunities where I can kind of kill two birds with one stone. Got a big, exciting ribbon cutting ceremony this weekend in Chihuahua for the new Ace Hardware rebuild for the Suddy's family. And they're just the most amazing humans. So they had a total loss, and that building has been their family for generations. It's awful, but I'm really grateful that we could help rebuild it. London and Steve are coming with me.
Oh, that's cool.
We were at Valley Real Life. We broke ground last weekend on the new expansion for them. Brought London and Steve with me. So it's just kind of how I was raised. It's how we're going to do it for now.
You're the on-the-go trio.
Yeah, we are. We call ourselves the Spink Trio. We're the little three amigos. And just,
good night, Ned.
I want her. Yeah, exactly. Good night. So we,
That was a throwback to Three Amigos.
It was good.
Okay.
It was good. I am Steve Martin. So,
well,
London,
I'm hearing you say that it's this community of people who are bringing you up, right, and have helped you get to where you are.
Yep.
And you're also passing that along to London,
totally.
for example.
Yep.
And what I'm also hearing you say is that, and I love this, is that you realize and you see that the candle is being burned at both ends.
Totally.
And so you know that, you understand that, you've accepted that, but it's like you're trying to accept it and move along with it. And you're working as a team. You guys are like this powerhouse trio, and I'm going to call you the on-the-go trio.
That's so sweet.
But I just think that it's like you understand that, and you're moving towards a specific spot.
We are, and London is named London because it's our favorite city in the world. Steve went to school there. I've been there a handful of times. I got to spend a summer there playing soccer in high school. She is named London because I want her to be worldly. I want her to be accepting and try new things and new culture. So travel is going to be, and it already is, a way that we do unplug and get away and kind of recharge. So it's just interesting that we're lucky with one, too. It really does afford us the opportunity to just take her with us everywhere that we go. So I'm going to be in Miami for work in the fall. She's coming with us. So we just make it a part of it, right?
No,
and
I
just
think it's
talk
like,
about it. Like you're saying, is like recognize the season. And again, it's Sinead Voorhees that I credit with the term of like, don't give your family your leftovers at the end of the night. I think Steve and I are just mindful of saying that to each other because all I want to do when I get home is unplug. I want my sweatpants on and I just want to breathe for a sec. But London's excited to see us. And I want to hear about her day. So just like turn it on. That's like that second gear of don't give the most important people to you, your very least.
Yeah.
So we're figuring it out. She doesn't have childcare next week, so come with me to work.
Oh.
And, you know, and my family will help me here and there too. My stepmom's incredible. My dad, my auntie. We're figuring it out.
It's community.
Yeah,
100%.
it is. Yeah.
But it's funny. It was just the three of us too.
Yes.
And hence we were the on the go trio.
Yes.
But now it's the four of us.
Right.
And Heidi also reminds me, she's like, you know, like when you're done working, like we switch back and forth.
Right.
And it's like, sometimes she's in the office all day.
Right.
And it's like, well, as soon as she's done, it's time to be mom again,
Yep.
right? And it's
Yep.
like, because the kids want nothing more.
Right.
And Heidi reminds me of that. Like if I'm doing dinner, she's like, really ask about soccer with,
Yes,
and it's
to
like
help
being intentional
You
with,
guys are
with
great
what you
partners.
want. Well, I love
Yeah.
my wife, and
You
she
guys
makes
are
me a
great
better
team.
person.
It's
She is
amazing.
She's
You guys
a
are a
rock
good
star.
team though, and like you can see that.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yes.
That's my best compliment there
Yep.
on that one. I love that.
Yep.
So switching gears really quick, going into like construction, for example.
Sure.
There are major setbacks in construction, whether that is you're receiving a no of a client and they say, no, that bid's too much.
Yep.
Or, the piping went out and it didn't work. Or this landfill, all of a sudden we found
Tariffs.
this artifact and now we got to do tariffs. Like all of these amazing things that you have to deal with that are challenges and struggles as the CEO. Like what is a major setback that you've experienced as the CEO for the construction company? And how did you deal with that?
Oh my gosh, there's so many, right?
Give
There's
me
just
one.
so
Just give
many.
me
I know. I
an
need to think of
interesting
a
one.
story. I think just in general, it's when a lot of times, at least, so let me just take it this way. One of our competitive advantages is that we're developers too. So we own real estate throughout the Western U.S. So we're a builder first and foremost, but we're developers as well. So we can offer a unique perspective when it comes to the total project costs and the total approach and the pre-construction journey. So I would be so blessed to be handed a set of plans and say, go build this, guys.
Yeah.
But that's rarely the case. We're normally involved 1 or 2 years before we even get to that point, as we help the client find a broker, get a loan, tie up the real estate, form an LLC, receive legal representation, like all of these steps that you do before you even come
Behind the
close.
scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a big selling point for our company. And it's hand-holding and being as much of a resource to somebody as they want. Because a lot of times they're going to only build a building one time in their life. And they've never done it before. And we do a lot of healthcare projects too. It's like you're a dentist or you're a doctor. Like you don't or a family physician. You do not understand this. This is what I understand. So let me wrap my arms around you and walk you through the whole thing.
Hand-holding.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so sometimes where it's bitten us is at the very end, our current environment right now, and it's really not the client's fault or anybody's fault, it's just current state of the market is appraisals. And costs are up, right? So the current cost of commercial construction is up 36% since
That's
COVID.
it? No, shit, that's
only
a lot.
36%,
Yeah.
right? So what is tough is that appraisals and inventory and new construction comps are very limited because a lot of people can't afford to build right now, and it doesn't pencil. So just that's kind of squarely what we've been dealing with about the last year and a half is these projects that we've worked on for years, many times, or even, many, many years, that the appraisal is pulled. We've been involved in the entire pre-con journey of budgeting the whole way through. The client feels good about the equity, blah, blah, blah. This is a really granular answer. Sorry, Blue. But
It's okay.
This is like the no right now is coming in the form of appraisals. So if it doesn't pencil, they're not going to do the deal. So it's just a unique situation that we're in. It will eventually course correct because eventually there will be more projects underway that appraisers can pull that data from.
Sure.
But from what they're doing is just dealing with what they have in front of them. So the no and how to get around this is to just continue to play our game. It's to not be naive in such a way that says that we're going to rest on our laurels and just, it is what it is. I'll just wait for the phone to ring. I have to be out there finding more people, being in front of more people, and thinking of creative ways to help get deals across the finish line.
And create
Because I
more
don't have
value for them.
Exactly.
Right.
And chop wood
Yes.
every single day because it's a numbers game. So this one might have fallen through, but as long as we have enough, backlog and enough in the hopper That other one with the appraisal, it'll come back around.
I
It's
love
just
that
a matter
you just said
of time.
that. It will come back.
It'll
but
come back.
only if you don't quit.
Correct.
Right? You've got to keep chopping the wood, even for those relationships that might go away for a little bit. I have landed so many gigs speaking just because I reached back out.
It came back around.
Yes.
You didn't give up.
You stay in top of mind.
Right.
Do not give up.
Don't give up and play your game. And when others are not playing the game in an ethical way, it doesn't matter.
Because you're out chopping wood, but they're sitting at home watching Netflix.
That's right.
Or 80s pop culture movies. I love
Which
that.
I like both of those.
What's your favorite movie? Go.
Yes. My favorite movie ever.
Go.
Varsity Blues or Braveheart. Can you tell what's going on in my head? It's scary.
That's a totally
That's
different.
very.
You
love
asked.
That. What about you?
Fair enough. Shawshank Redemption.
Got it. Yeah, that's a little deeper than mine, but
followed by Empire Strikes Back.
Okay. Well, of course. Yeah,
Yes,
that's fair. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, that's fair.
I love that. Well, okay, let's switch gears really quick, and I love that.
I know.
I love the Star
It's
Wars
twisted.
pots. No,
Yeah, it's scary up here.
Braveheart. They don't make movies like Gladiator and Braveheart anymore. And I miss
but what
those.
about you? What about Varsity Blues? I mean,
that wasn't really my thing. I'm
So
sorry.
deep.
Just because it has my name in it. I don't know.
James Vanderbeek.
That was a plug for him, big time. We know who Brooke's little star struck for.
Yeah, and rest in peace, Paul Walker too.
Oh
Any
man,
loser. There we were.
Yeah, Fast and Furious.
Fast
one
and
after
Furious.
That was too fast.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was. Poor guy. Gosh.
That would be awful. And he was a great dad too, right?
I know.
And it's that's sad. So remembering the times that we're not guaranteed tomorrow. And it's like spending that time with your daughter, London, and with your family. It's so important to remember those things.
Oh, it is. It totally is.
You're the CEO, and I know that you deliver no's. Because let's totally switch gears here and wrap up. And it's like you have to deliver no's sometimes. You have to. You can't say yes to everyone. You can't give all of your friends a job. You can't sponsor everything. You can't give donations to everything. Like you're limited on your time as a family person, right? As a mom, but then also as the CEO in the construction company. And I know that I want everybody here. Construction companies aren't billionaires. They're not making billions of dollars. It's like it's razor thin margins there too. So like that 36%. I'm sorry, I'm going to throw that in because I worked construction forever, and even in my business, it's like you look at the numbers, and if it doesn't pencil, aka what you said, it doesn't make sense. But it's like you're not making billions of dollars per job, and so it's like
who cares about top line? Who cares? Like
you deliver these no's too.
Oh my gosh!
And so how do you deliver a no as stepping into the leadership role? How do you deliver a no?
Good question.
And still gain that trust or still have that helping hand, that hand-holding position. What have you done in the past or current state to deliver a no?
It's interesting. As the leader, everybody's watching how you handle something, right? So your stomach, again, can be doing backflips and you're like, how the heck am I going to navigate this? But you have to remain calm and be that duck on top of the water that's cool as a cucumber. And underneath the water, your legs can be going crazy, but nobody sees that, right? So it's been unique for me. I think I've done a good job navigating the no's because I feel like I'm a very good communicator. And even some of the icky things that I've had to communicate, I think ripping the Band-Aid off and just hitting it with it straight and not moseying around an issue is the very, very best way to deliver a no. And I think I've gotten really good at it because I'm used to getting no's all the time. And again, like we talked about, it's a numbers game and it'll all come back on. But delivering a no with empathy and, again, being concise with the messaging has been really, really helpful for me. And what I also do is I lead with vulnerability, and I also just kind of remove the weirdness and state what the weirdness is. Blue, I'm going to tell you something really icky. Blah, 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 blah. But I'm sorry, man. But that's where we're at right now. And I care about you, and I hope everything, whatever that is, I just hit it straight on. So my advice is, especially as a woman, is that when you're delivering a no, it's okay to be bold and it's okay to be honest and just come from a place of empathy, because a lot of times we as women, from a messaging perspective, can say it just like a man says it. and you're going to be called the B word, right? When you said it the exact same way that the man did. But I think when I'm driving home at the end of the day and I'm thinking about my day and I'm trying to kind of recap the highs and the lows, leading from a place of vulnerability, transparency is my currency. If I can hang my head on that and just know that I gave it my all for that day, I can sleep good at night. What I struggle with is when I have a difficult message to deliver and I don't feel like I was as forward on it as I should have been. And it's hard, right? That is the hardest part of being a leader and in that transition of ally to confidant as well, of being thoughtful with your messaging with whoever is in the room. And too much information is never a good thing necessarily, but it's a constant balancing act. It's something I'm getting better at, but I think I've mastered it with, again, I'm told no all the time. And my skin is really, really thick for it, which is good. And lead from empathy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and we can all play, I want to call it Monday night quarterback, but maybe it's Tuesday morning quarterback, where you look back and you say, I wish I had done this. I wish I had said this. But when you do that, you learn.
Right.
And you're like, next time I will say this.
Right.
Next time I will act this way.
Yeah.
And you're just growing from even that icky feeling of whether, because receiving a no can be just as hard as delivering that no.
Right.
And it is icky. And I love that you say that, like, be impactful. I want everybody to hear that, like, rip the Band-Aid off, be empathetic, lead from your authentic self, and just like let them know they care.
Yes.
And also let them know that you have been in their shoes.
I say that all the time where I'm just like, even with employee situations or HR situations that are tough, when you just say, I don't feel good about this, and and again, it might not make them feel better in that moment, or if it's a client situation or a subcontractor issue, telling them that you don't feel good about it and coming from that kind of like that deeper place or that place of vulnerability has helped me as well to say, I haven't been sleeping about this for 3 days. I need to tell you something. It's really icky.
Yeah.
Da 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 da.
Oh, I mean, that reminds me of Ted Lasso at the very end when the owner talks to Ted Lasso and says, I've felt horrible and it's been keeping me up. And it's just like, he's like, it's okay.
Right.
Right? Because he can put himself in her shoes. And I love that.
Yeah.
Well, I want to wrap up with, if you were to tell your past self, or if you were to tell London one thing, or think about a young woman right now trying to get into a trade or trying to get into a business or get into a male-dominated industry, what would you tell them? Or what would you tell your past self?
Sure. I would say get started. No matter what it is that you end up doing, just get started and start hustling, and your name will speak for itself. Just be impeccable with your word, and the opportunities with people just seeing you out there hustling and grinding and doing it for the right reasons, that's what's going to get you ahead. And it's really a blessing for me now because I have people that reach out and say, hey, can I grab coffee with you? And they ask me that question, and the number, how did you get to where you're at? And da-da-da. I just got started. I just got started. I don't have a profound answer, but I wasn't afraid to put myself out there. And again, just to do something out of the goodness of my heart. And that at that time, I just had a huge heart for the people on the streets. And so my way of getting connected was just feeding the homeless. And again, I haven't done that in a long time, and really applaud everybody's efforts to try to help everybody, but get started. And so that's not super profound. I think my advice to London too, when we have that conversation of how to do that, is find what really drives you, that gets you up, and lean on the people that you admire that do it, but find your voice. So a lot of mixed messaging in there, but you can do whatever you want to do. I'm so jacked for her. I think about how I'm going to have these really pointed conversations with her about, I don't care what you do, just be the best at it. Try your hardest. Be a good person. I'm really excited to have those conversations. Right now, we are all about Bluey, chicken nuggets, and...
Not me.
And
Bluey,
she's not ready
dog.
for it. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, she's not ready for these conversations. But I'm excited.
But maybe one day she's going to listen to this interview, for example, and there's going to be a nugget in there that she can take with it. Or somebody, one of our listeners can hear something that you have said and resonates with them, and you've changed their life. Because
I hope so.
I know everyone in our community knows who you are, and you are making that difference in this world.
Blue.
No, I'm absolutely serious, because
That's so kind of you.
You are synonymous with like giving and mentorship. And yes, you have not gotten to where you want to go, but you're so far ahead of other people that you are able to look back and say, I will help you get here.
Yeah.
Right.
Somebody did it for me, right?
Well, somebody built that bridge, but now you're at that front of that bridge, and maybe you want to add the lights to that bridge to make it even easier. Well, I kind of stole part of that from Phil Champlin from The Hub.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah, and he talks about a bridge, and I was like, well, maybe you should add lights. That's for the next verse. So I'm going to like piggyback on that. But
I really like that.
It is, he's going to do the breakfast at The Hub, and I think that's going to be one of his main topic themes. So, well, where can people find more out about you and Baker Construction?
Yeah, great question. So our website is obviously our best kind of like landing space for more information about us. And then, I just tell people, call me. I mean, give me a shout if there's anything that you ever want to come spitball with me on. Come to my office. I try to make time for as many people as I can. But come to me, and anything I can do to help you guys out, love to do it. Or I'm on some boards. So just come see me. Come see me at the airport. Come see me at Valley Chamber, GSI. Got some new ones I'm hopping on next year too. So get out there. That's my advice. Just get started.
Well, we're not going to throw your number up on the screen.
Please don't.
Did you hear Mel Robbins did that during her TED Talk?
No.
Her TED Talk, the 5-second rule.
Oh my gosh.
Was basically she didn't realize what she was doing, and it was like she changed it the last little second, and she threw that out. And it was one of the first TEDx talks that was out there. And she gave her personal email.
Oh, no.
And she was left, right.
Oh, my
gosh. So she had to ask TEDx to remove her email.
May we amend this recording, right?
Well, I love it. And I love what you're doing for our community. And I love what you're doing for everyone here in the Spokane and the Coeur d'Alene, Idaho area. You're a powerhouse, girl. And you're a rock star. And as my daughter and my wife say, you are a baddie.
That is
and
the
we look up to
nicest
you.
ever. I love your family so much.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thanks for being a part of this, and I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. Thanks,
All right,
Blue.
Thanks. Thank you so much for listening to Navigating No. If this episode brings you value, or you know someone who could benefit from it, the best way to support the show is by sharing and subscribing. It's completely free and helps us reach more people. And if you have any questions, feedback, or guests you'd like me to interview, drop a comment while you're there. I'd love to hear from you. And most importantly, thank you for tuning in. And let's continue sharing optimism and positivity.